It's Lupac, baby, in the building.
The truth teller in the building.
The pressure bringer in the building.
If you rockin' with Pop,
Make some noise. Yeah, if you got your receipts,
put it on the floor.
if you got that truth,
Put it on the floor.
if you rockin' with Lupac,
Put it on the floor.
hey, 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 hey. One time for the realest, bitch. Two times for the coldest, bitch. Three times for the bossed up, bitch.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Yeah, that's Lupac, bitch.
One time for Lupac, baby.
Let's go.
Two times for Lupac, baby.
That's right.
Three times for Lupac, baby.
Burn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
It's Lupac,
Baby.
walk in, whole room in a G-shift. Truth talk heavy, she don't ever miss. Stand on facts, yeah, she stand on 10. When Pac touch down, pressure step in. Spotlight glow when she hit that live. Whole chat lit when she drop that vibe. No fake love, only real ones roll. Lupac run the scene, that's how it goes. Clock that T receipts on sight. Drop one post on that ignite. Talk that truth, she don't play nice. Put it on the floor, expose that light. Go Lupac,
Go, go, Lupac, go, 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 Lupac, go.
put it on the floor, Pac, put it on the floor. Time for the realest,
Bitch, hey,
two times for the coldest,
bitch, hey,
three times for the bossed up,
bitch. Fuck it up, fuck it up.
yeah, that's Lupac,
Bitch. One time for Lupac, baby.
hey,
Two times for Lupac, baby.
that's right,
Three times for Lupac, baby.
turn up,
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
it's Lupac, baby. Truth in her voice, yeah, the crowd gon' lean. When she clock them receipts, know she mean what she mean. No cap stories, she dismantle the fake. Every live she hit, make the whole chat shake. From the boot energy to worldwide view. Lupac, baby, got nothing to prove. Stand tall, crown never tilt. Pressure too heavy, whole lane get built. Put it on the floor, 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 put it on the floor.
Go Lupac, go, go Lupac, go. Receipts on the floor, let's go. One time for Lupac, baby. Two times for Lupac, baby.
That's right,
Three times for Lupac, baby.
turn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up. It's Lupac, baby.
If you want some weird shit, stay away. Stay away from me. Period.
No weapon should profit.
No weapon form is going to prosper.
No weapon farm is gonna profit. Thank you, Pastor.
And another thing, if you coming with that drama and that negativity, you know what's going on. Stop playing.
Hold up, hold up.
Hold up.
It's Lupac, baby, in the building.
The truth teller in the building.
The pressure bringer in the building.
If you rockin' with Pop,
Make some noise. Yeah, if you got your receipts,
put it on the floor.
if you got that truth,
Put it on the floor.
if you rockin' with Lupac,
Put it on the floor.
hey, 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 hey. One time for the realest,
Bitch,
two times for the coldest,
bitch,
three times for the bossed up,
bitch. Fuck it up, fuck it up.
yeah, that's Lupac, bitch.
One time for Lupac, baby.
Let's go.
Two times for Lupac, baby.
That's right.
Three times for Lupac, baby.
Burn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
It's Lupac,
Baby.
walk in, whole room in a G-shift. Truth talk heavy, she don't ever miss. Stand on facts, yeah, she stand on 10. When Pac touch down, pressure step in. Spotlight glow when she hit that live. Whole chat lit when she drop that vibe. No fake love, only real ones roll. Lupac run the scene, that's how it goes. Clock that T receipts on sight. Drop one post on that ignite. Talk that truth, she don't play nice. Put it on the floor, expose that light. Go Lupac,
Go, go Lupac, go, go, go Lupac, go.
put it on the floor, Pac, put it on the floor. Time for the realest,
Bitch, hey,
two times for the coldest,
bitch, hey,
three times for the bossed up,
bitch. Fuck it up, fuck it up.
yeah, that's Lupac,
Bitch. One time for Lupac, baby.
hey,
Two times for Lupac, baby.
that's right,
Three times for Lupac, baby.
turn up,
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
in her voice, yeah, the crowd gon' lean. When she clock them receipts, know she mean what she mean. No cap stories, she dismantle the fake. Every live she hit, make the whole chat shake. From the boot energy to worldwide view. Lupac, baby, got nothing to prove. Stand tall, crown never tilt. Pressure too heavy, whole lane get built. Put it on the floor, 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 put it on the floor. Go Lupac, go Lupac, go. Receipts on the floor, let's go. One time for Lupac, babe. Two time for Lupac, babe. That's right, three time for Lupac, babe. Turn up, fuck it up, it's Lupac, baby.
If you want some weird shit, stay away. Stay away from me. Period.
No weapon should profit.
No weapon form is going to prosper.
No weapon form is gonna profit. Thank you, Pastor.
And another thing, if you coming with that drama and that negativity, wet, you know what's going on. Stop playing.
Hey, Pox Squad. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Ooh, child. Ooh, I was running. We got some catching up to do with this case, baby. A lot has transpired, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. First and foremost, we got that them big dogs, that appellate team that's on Carmelo's defense right now. They didn't file some motions. It's finna get real, 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 real in the field, baby. Period. And I love that for us. All right, we gonna get into it, y'all. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. I was looking for something, but I could not find it. And watch, it's gonna come to me later. It's gonna come to me later. Per usual. Y'all, let me see. Hold on. I was supposed to do this live last night, but I got tired, y'all. And I was in Freezy Live. They was turning up over there, so I just couldn't get to this one. But I say, we're going to do this live today. And lo and behold, here we are. Here we are, baby. Let me get to the top. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me well. Yeah, I want to make sure my sound is good because we got a couple things to cover as it involves this situation. We got some things, y'all. We got some things. I was actually supposed to cover this the other day on another live, but I wanted this to be specifically for its own individual live because it is very important to this case. Hey, Miss Yolanda. Hey, Miss Stephanie, Queen Love, Mel Scorpio. We got Ranitha. We got Miss Geraldine. We got my love, Miss Toya in the building. We got Shaquintley, Miss Tracy, Miss Hill. Shout out to Miss Hill. Miss Angela B. We got Miss Belria, Miss Christina, Rakita. We got Beautifully Designed, Miss Lady T, Miss Shannon, Miss Renee. We got the other Miss Tracy in the building. Thank you, Miss Hill, for my first firework. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your support. Hey, Miss Melody. Hey, Miss Renee. Who else? Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Michaela, Latae in the building, Miss Nina, Miss Amanda, Manifestations of God. Shout out to you. Hey, Miss Celine, Miss Jackie, Toya, Miss Tina, Faith to you. Shout out to the green team for always being the first ones. VIP in the chat, baby. Outside of y'all know them I ain't gonna call them trolls. We just gonna say those inquirers who maybe don't support me, but they always first in the chat, the ones that be getting caught slipping when they get pulled out of the bushes with those gifted memberships. Shout out to y'all for the support also. Baby, they be trying to hurry up and delete them gifted memberships so they don't get seen. But the crazy part is y'all don't once you get caught, right? If you're not supposed to be here, I don't know why you're not supposed to be here because this is the internet. But once you get caught up, deleting your membership does not stop us from seeing who you are. Okay. And let me just put that out there because it shows in the chat, baby. Once you get gifted, it shows in the chat. So deleting it is a waste of time because it's still going to show in the chat once you're gifted. I just wanted to let that be known to save them a little time from deleting their channel and having to start all over. That's so crazy to me. How old are y'all? Like that is the weirdest thing ever. And these are not little kids. These are grown women deleting their channels as if they going to get spanked or put on punishment for watching content on YouTube. Like and the crazy y'all know what's even crazy? I don't even have disrespectful content. Like I keep it very respectful. We might throw a little joke here and there, but for the most part, y'all don't hear me cussing nobody out. Y'all don't hear me degrading anybody's looks, dragging nobody. None of that. Now, I give a little constructive criticism as it pertains to whoever it pertains to, but y'all don't hear me doing the most over here. So why is y'all deleting y'all channels just so y'all don't get caught in the gifted memberships? Like, y'all, I laughed so hard about that yesterday. I was like, "Oh my god, I know they not." And that's not the first time I didn't seen one do that. Actually, two people did it yesterday, but I only screenshot one of them. But it was two people. We ain't gonna reveal y'all identities. We're gonna let y'all be great, okay? Hey, Miss Vonda. Who else is in here? Hey, Patrina. Hey, Miss Natia. We got T. Stanley in the building. Miss Teresa Table Nay. Shout out to you. Lamicia's Lady in Flight. We got Mr. Lean in this thing. We got Love Me For Real. We got Nicola. Shout out to you. We got Miss Viv. Philly Girl Juice in the building. Hey, Miss Eugenia. Miss you, girl. Hey, Miss Gloria. Hey, Abundance Clarity. Who else? Let me see. And Christy. Shout out to Christy. And we want to give a collective hey. And, just what they call it, y'all? Damn, I forgot what they call it. But a collective hate to everybody else that comes through. I see you, Boss Lady and Doja Cat. Shout out to y'all. A collective hate to anybody else that comes through. I see y'all and I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for all of the support. It is overwhelming. If you would like to donate to your girl monetarily, you can cash at me $Lupac2. You can also buy me a coffee. Shout out to my coffee people that supports that app. You can also support the platform by getting a super chat or a super sticker, aka a firework. Y'all know the vibes, child. It ain't even the 4th, but we celebrate the fireworks year round. That is the name for our supers over here. Everybody got their own little nickname, but we got our own thing too, baby. Y'all know I always said a little goal. It ain't much, it ain't mandatory, but it's greatly, greatly appreciated because it contributes to the revenue of this particular live stream and my platform. It keeps us going, okay? It keeps us being able to invest our time, baby. We got bills to pay, okay? We the light bill, it's not free. The lights are not free. And y'all, if y'all would see my light bill, oh my God, Louisiana, it's depressing. I'm gonna just say that Louisiana don't play about these electricity bills, but that's because of that sun and that humidity. Like it feel like during the summer here, it feels like your air conditioner does not work properly. That's how hot it be, y'all. Oh, sometimes I'll be like, damn, I wish I would move. I could move away, but my family is here. But anyways, please y'all make sure y'all watching those ads. Please hit the like button and at the end of the live, hype your girl up. Support is crucial when I do these out of the norm live streams or content. A lot of people support me heavily for the saga. So I ask that y'all do the same when it's other content so we can keep the other content coming. Because who want to hear about the saga all the time? Like, sometimes that's depressing. Okay. Nobody want to hear about them people every day. But we want to keep doing other content so that we can branch off. I be wanting to be in other algorithms too, baby. So we ain't limited or restricted to just the saga content. And that's why I say, y'all, please support if you can, because even going back and forth between algorithms, it kind of confuses the system. And sometimes the views don't be viewing because we switching algorithms back and forth, if that makes sense. But anyways, make sure y'all hype me up too at the end of this live. Y'all know the vibes, baby. And shout out to the ones that already support heavily. I appreciate everybody. I swear I do, baby. I swear I do. I swear I do. Okay, y'all. So, like I said, we got a lot to talk about because a lot of things have happened since I ain't went live. Um, how many days it's been, y'all? It been like maybe 2 days since I did a live, 2 or 3 days on the Carmelo Anthony situation, and I want to stay in that algorithm also because one thing I notice about things like this that are very controversial, when the public makes a lot of noise collectively, when it's a big outrage, we get results. That's something that I notice. And people tend to say, "Oh, leave the politics out of it and it ain't got nothing to do with race and politics." Everything has something to do with race and politics. Because like I said before, you got midterms coming up, you got elections that's about to be goings on, and these people trying to retain their seats, baby. They trying to get reelected to stay in office. So they gonna want to please the people. They gonna want to satisfy the people. Okay. So that's why it's also crucial for everybody to go vote when it's time to go vote. Because that's the only way to get results. You can't complain about things that's happening out here when we the people hold all the power for change to come. We can't. Like, that's contradicting to complain but don't do nothing about it. And I can't stand when people say, "Oh, my little one vote don't count." But guess what? If you got 500,000 people saying the same shit, then you don't think them 500,000 votes don't count, or a million votes? Guess you ain't the only one saying, "Oh, my little vote don't count. It won't matter." It will matter when it's a million of y'all saying the same thing. Like, make it make sense. Every vote counts. Okay. So don't ever think your vote is not important or you just a little old person who don't matter. Everybody matters and every vote counts. Period. So I just had to say that, y'all. Let me see. Hey Veronica. Hey Miss Mel Mel. Hey Kim. Hey Sapphire. Miss Bougie in the building. Love me for real. All right. So let me see where we want to go first. I want to do this is what I actually wanted. Well, no, before I go to that, I'm gonna do Carmelo's new defense appellate team files for a new trial. Let me put this on the screen just so we can have a wait, I gotta send it to it first. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the one I already had. Let's do that. Let's put this one up because somebody had a problem with this one. So I want to put this one up first. Do I still have it on the screen? Hold on, y'all. Because I remember when I had, let's see, did I take it down? I think I took it down. Damn it. Let me put it back up. Somebody had an issue with this picture. Let me show y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all why they had an issue. Let's see. Let's see. Where you at, baby? Where you at? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. 1 second. Here we go. There you go. I don't want that one. I want the original one. Let's use this one. Is this the one? Yep. All right, let me send it to my email. Come on. All right, receipt. All right, there we go. I want to show y'all this because I actually had this on my thumbnail the other day and somebody had an issue with it. They said that it's deceptive, right? And I'm going to show y'all why. Let's see. Did it come through yet? Yep. Let's pull it up. Okay. Here you go. All right. Can y'all see it? Oh, let me see if I can fix that. Why is it so big? I'm going to zoom out a little bit. want the whole thing to show. Wonder why it don't show in the center. Let's see something. I want it as my backdrop, but it's not gonna show. But we're gonna leave it like this. We're gonna leave it like this. Let's see. Oh, I can do that. Well, we're gonna still leave it like that. All right. So I had this as my thumbnail the other day, y'all, if y'all remember. And somebody came in the comments and said, "Oh, I know," and this ain't verbatim, but it's very close to what they said, if I could recall. They said, "I know this commentary gotta be um deceptive because the thumbnail is deceptive." So of course, Chat GPT ain't gonna generate it perfectly, but the smart people get it, right? Now we know that those twins were uh way bigger than Carmelo. Carmelo was said to be around 5'8", 130, 135 pounds when this incident occurred. And those twins both were over 200 pounds. One was, I want to say they said around 220, and the other one, Hunter, was a little smaller, but both were well over 6 feet, right? So the thumbnail ain't too far off. Like, make it make sense. Use your imagination, baby. Use your imagination. It ain't too far off because it was noted that they were way bigger than Carmelo. Okay? Like, these people are weird. They do and say the weirdest things to try to off put the facts. It is what it is. Those boys, them was some big ass, thick ass kids. Period. In my Martin Lawrence voice from Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Them some thick ass kids. However you want to spin it, they were bigger than him, along with other boys that were surrounding Carmelo, because it was said to be 4 or 6 of them, not just the twins who confronted Carmelo while Carmelo was minding his goddamn business. And that's going to lead me straight into the next topic, okay? Because you know, one thing that is a fact is the fact that Hunter Metcalf didn't testify on the stand. How is it that the star of the fucking incident was not on that witness stand? In what world? Where they do that at? Where they do that at, y'all? How the hell, baby, the star is typically the first to be subpoenaed in any trial. How is it that we have a murder trial and the person who went from interview to interview back in April 2025 was not on the, didn't even have to, matter of fact, didn't even show up to court on behalf of his twin until the witness statements until it was time to give the witness statements, when the trial was damn near over. Make it make sense. Smart people know that the reason for his absence was because they didn't want, the prosecution nor his father didn't want his size to intimidate the jury or to distract the jury, or for the jury to be able to see that he was a way bigger than Carmelo was. So if he way bigger, then the deceased one was way bigger also. So that's some things that are being alleged, and it's not far stretched for people to advise certain people that could have potentially been or was involved in a crime to not come around the trial. And then it makes even more sense because he showed up for victim statements. So you couldn't show up to support your family in the midst of this trial where somebody is on trial for the murder of your twin brother, and you were one of the main witnesses of this situation, but you could show up for the victim statements and get your ass on the stand telling Carmelo, chastising Carmelo by saying, look at me, boy, look at me. Look at me, boy. And I like how CBS and Fox and all these other news stations that quoted these witness and victim testimonies, they switched them words around, but it was already stated by people who were in court, physically in court, that he said verbatim, look at me, boy, look at me. You can't even look me in the eyes. Look at me, boy. Slavery talk, slavery verbatim. Like, what? And y'all wonder why people are comparing what could have potentially been the actions of these twins based on their father's behavior all over this internet. The racial slurs and outbursts, and child, these people better leave me alone. Anyways, let's get into it. So, what is this? Crime scene analysis and witness. Okay, so let's get into it, y'all. All right, I just wanted to put this up here because don't play with me. Please don't play with me. One thing my people know about Pac is Pac don't play when it comes to the receipts, and I don't play when it comes to the facts. Okay, we can give our opinion all day long, baby. But as long as I'm getting them receipts, the receipts gonna be receipting. And that go for any story I cover. Sips coffee. Ooh, I just had to say that, y'all. All right. All right, now let me pull this up. Hey to everybody. Hey, Miss Toya, my love. Y'all, we got 227 in the building. Shout out to Freezy for sending a lot of his people over here also that want to, be in tune or get in the conversation of Karmelo. Most bloggers or content creators, they don't like to share their supporters, right? So shout out to the ones who do. Shout out to the ones who ain't afraid to share the love as if it's going to take away from their pockets or their platform. No, that's not how they go. If people love you and they love you genuinely, they will always be there. If your supporters value you and your opinion, your perspective, they will always be there. So big shout out to the creators that ain't afraid to send their supporters elsewhere to get other perspectives of information. Period. Okay? Now let's go here. Let me take this down. Let me take them thick ass kids off the screen. Because them some thick ass kids as it pertains to Karmelo's little self. Okay? Them some thick ass. Shut up, Pop. Oh, child, listen. All right. You could like the intimidation, baby. I would have been scared of them thick ass kids. Okay? I would have been scared of them also. And then when you put y'all, and the more and more I investigate and see things pertaining to this situation, the more and more I uncover, the more and more I find out. Like when I tell y'all this prosecution did a lot of people said, and I even heard Thelma, shout out to Thelma Anderson, aka the public opinions court. I heard her say that the prosecution nor the defense did a good job as it pertains to the Karmelo's case, right? But in my opinion, I think the prosecution knew exactly what they was doing because they pinpoint and utilize everything and subtracted everything that they could to paint Karmelo as a murderer. And not as, they made it seem as if he intended to unalive Austin. Now it's so many things coming out surrounding this situation, y'all. People are stating that Karmelo didn't even have a poker. You got people stating that the poker belonged to one of the twins. You got people seeing and stating that it was two pokers. You got people seeing one of the kids putting something in the trash can. Now you got people seeing one of the kids taking something out of the trash can and handing to the coach, and then the coach putting it in his right pocket and crossing the 25-yard line. And y'all, it's a lot of theories. And you got to be real careful. Even though sometimes said theories can help cases, they can also hurt and drown out the facts as well, right? That's true. We've seen it be done. But it is what it is. People are pretty much going off of what they seeing with the spliced up videos that was given, right? That was released to the public. So you can't be mad at people for drawing their own conclusions based off of their perspective of what you given when you give us crap to work with. Literally. Pixelated, grainy, spliced up crap when they could have just gave it in its raw, unedited form. But no, we can't do that because that will actually show that that baby was only trying to save his own life and by defending himself and getting away from the terrorists, them thick ass kids that was under that tent. Okay, that was all he was trying to do. But we can't show that raw unedited video. We can't show that because the people gonna see what it is exactly for what it is. We ain't gonna show that. We gonna confuse the masses even more to also by trying to distract them with a spliced, edited up video to make it seem like Karmelo entered the canopy 2 minutes and 19 seconds after the twins, when in fact he was sitting under that canopy for a good 9 or 10 minutes, well before those twins even came. If we going off of one of the twins, Hunter himself, he stated that him and his brother was coming back from the Emerson Middle School tent and they seen Karmelo under the tent. That don't sound like they was already there to me. That sounds like somebody called them over there and they was walking back from that Emerson Middle School tent. Hint, hint, you hear the radio, you hear the police 911 radio looking for the Emerson suspect or suspects because it was said that the only person that was there to represent Emerson, some middle school little girl, was being tormented, harassed, and a couple other words I'm going to leave out, by an assailant. It was also alleged that the parents of the Metcalf twins were already there, even though they created narratives that they had to come there. But it was already also stated that they were already there dealing with that issue because said twins had allegedly already been messing with, harassing, and whatever else they was doing to that Emerson Middle School girl. But we're going to leave that alone, because I feel like I'm getting a little too deep with it, right? Because one thing I do is, baby, I pay attention. I don't just look at things just to look at them. I look at it to analyze. Let me go up just a little bit in the comments. Thank you, Miss Hill. Thank you for that firework, my love. We got 246 in the building. Please, y'all, hit the like button. Please support the goal. We got 18 left on the goal with any color. It does not matter if it's 99 cents or $99, baby. All the fireworks matter and all the fireworks are appreciated over here. Period. Thank you, Miss Hill. Thank you, my love. Okay, so let me pull this up, y'all. Now what we about to get into is what the thumbnail also states. Hunter versus witnesses. Who's lying? Because notice the transcripts still haven't came out. Oh, child, I'm jumping way ahead. I forgot to tell y'all what the appellate's filed. Why y'all letting me get ahead? Y'all know I be all over the place. But if you know, you know. If you've been with me for a while, then you apparently got the type of brain that I got. Okay, so just stay with me. Stay with your girl. One thing about it, I might be all over the place on the plane, but we gonna land. We're gonna land and we're gonna learn some facts. All right, let's see. Let me go back up. So I have, let me read this first. So somebody posted this and it states, and this is from somebody on Facebook, y'all. A lot of people are going to be upset about this if they already aren't. But Carmelo Anthony's new appellate team has informed the court that they intend to file a motion for a new trial while they continue pursuing his appeal. The attorneys have said they are conducting a fresh independent review of the trial record to identify any legal errors that could support that request. And we all know at least the smart ones. Anytime you got this type of legal team who have combined probably well over 100 years of legal experience, whether it's criminally defending or some type of appellate experience, but combined, these people got about 100 and something years of experience combined. And that's major. And not only that, y'all, we already know a part of the facts is that they're doing it pro bono. with those type of reputations and loss to win ratios that these people have, they not finna touch this if it ain't obviously tainted and a railroaded type of situation. That is obvious. If you got non-legally experienced people like myself, I got a little legal experience from working in the courts, but I'm talking about law experience as far as being a lawyer, whether it's a lawyer, paralegal, attorney, appellate attorney, whatever. You can clearly see just by the bare minimum mistakes, y'all. So many legal errors surrounding this situation, it makes no sense. And the first clue to the railroading is the lack of transparency. That's one of the things that drew me to this case. The lack of transparency. If you got a literal nationally controversial legal situation or a murder situation, why would you want to keep the cameras out the courtroom? Can somebody answer that for me in the chat? Why would you want to keep the public away from what's supposed to be a very transparent case? Because so many eyes are already on it. Why would you want the controversial outrage to pour out even more so from stripping the transparency away from the situation? I heard Judge Roach say on his interview after the trial, which is very rare for trial judges to go on interviews after a trial, especially one that wasn't transparent or had any cameras. But we gonna, that's besides the point. But I heard him say verbatim that it was an easy decision to keep the cameras away from his courtroom because it is a fact that, or it is noted that prosecutors and defense attorneys or judges tend to act differently when cameras are in the courtroom. Yeah, and he's right, y'all. We're going to give him that. But let's add context to that, right? The difference is they act more fairly. They act more non-biasedly. They do their jobs correctly. See, when you got cameras, when you got that type of transparency, you got to be fair. You are forced to be fair because you got all eyes on me. You ain't got no choice but to be fair when there are cameras around. So that right there was the number one. This finna be a railroad type of situation. This finna be an unfair. This finna be a violation of somebody's constitutional rights, baby. Period. Because he had no reason to strip the transparency in that courtroom. And a lot of people that were in attendance, whether it was in the courtroom or outside that mug on the steps, recording content, they are literally coming out, mainly melanin folks. They are coming out stating how unfairly treated they were while in attendance, i.e. Neek at night. She was harassed. She is literally going through or pursuing a legal defamatory situation as we speak because these people really tried to play on her. They automatically labeled Black folks as Karmelo Anthony supporters when they didn't even state that out their own mouth. Like how you and it brings me back to these people saying, "Oh, y'all made it about race." No, y'all did. Y'all did when y'all labeled every single Black folk a Karmelo Anthony supporter when some could just be supporting justice, the fairness of our judicial system. Even stating, oh, they defending a murderer. Oh, they don't want to see nobody be held accountable. When indeed that was never the case. Y'all know I stated when I first started covering this, it was never about stripping accountability and always about fairness because I believe in our judicial system. But leave it up to our judicial system and they cousins to literally make me side-eye their ass, okay? Because why couldn't y'all just be fair? Why couldn't that's what's so mind-boggling and bothersome about the coons, our them cousins that you don't claim. Yeah, that's them. That we gonna call, instead of using the term coon, because some people might be offended, we gonna call those black coons the cousins that we don't claim. That's them from now on, y'all. Moving forward, the cousins that we don't claim, like Stephen A. Smith and Antoine Daniels and so forth. Officer Tate, yeah, them our cousins that we don't claim, baby, because it's so obvious the railroading in this situation. Like, too many things, too many details are coming out surrounding it. Not even the most obvious one, which was the 12 fair-skinned jurors. Yeah, that's not even the most obvious thing. Like, it's everything surrounding this unfair situation. Everything surrounding it. It's too much to ignore at this point. Entirely too much. I'm not even a lawyer, and I know that offenders who don't have a criminal background, who are first offenders, get less time statistically. But matter of fact, let's strip the black folks out of that statistic, right? Because we don't. It ain't fair when it comes to us. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett, because she let it be known it's a judicial system and it's laws for the black folk, and then it's the judicial system and laws for everybody else. And I believe that to be fact. And they've proven it more and more, unfortunately. They prove it's sad, because now the people who try to give the benefit of the doubt, we being disappointed. We're being disappointed. I have white people all up and through my family. My great-great-grandfather is pure German. Pure German. My grandfather, my mom's dad, is mixed German. His dad was pure German and his mom was pure Native American. Okay? But baby, we identify as black. Okay, my mom and my daddy black. My grandmother was African American. My grandfather was mixed Native American and German. But my daddy's side, that's why I got it, y'all. And that's why I be, my little light skin, right? But I don't play about my black people. I don't play. I'm black. My parents black. My kids black. I don't play about them. But I also don't play about other people either. And I believe in fairness, and it should be all across the board. All across the board. Everybody should be treated fairly. But when it comes, like I said, anybody, you don't need a law degree to know that when somebody does not have a criminal record, when there are tons of character witnesses that can attest that wasn't even considered, like the lady who, Karmelo saved her baby from drowning, she was ready. She was on standby, baby. That lady said she wasn't even called or considered. And those are the type of things that are done when you're dealing with these type of trials. First offenders don't typically get that much time. They don't get that much time. They consider everything. The purpose is to humanize the defendant. The ones who get more time are the ones who are seemingly have a disregard towards human life, right? Them be the ones that don't care. But we can't totally blame the prosecution. We could blame them, but we got to blame the defense because they the ones who dropped the ball. Ineffective counsel. That's where that new trial comes in at. So shout out to the Dream Team 2.0, Mr. Russell and them, for looking at it and attacking it from all angles, baby. They're not just going at it for, an appeal for them to reconsider or look for legal errors. They also looking at it from the ineffective counsel as well, because that was definitely ineffective counsel. I don't care what nobody say. You had two of the top attorneys in the Dallas or Texas area Mike Howard and Toby Shook, who dropped the ball 100%. You got Mike Howard on commercial saying if your attorney don't get your case dismissed before the trial, before a trial even happened, you got the wrong attorney. Where the hell was that Mike Howard then? Was he asleep on June 9th? June 4th to the 9th? Was he asleep? Like, was he on vacation? Inquiring minds want to know, baby. Inquiring minds want to know. Because you sure ain't showed up. Like, what the hell? But anyways, y'all, ooh, child, y'all know when I get in them rants, listen, I be on fire because now I'm getting pissed off all over again. We got 237 in the building. Please hit that like button. We finna get into it. Thank you, Miss Hill, for those gifted memberships. Make sure y'all thank my girl in the chat. If you went from gray to green or black to green, yeah, you got a gifted membership for 30 days. So make sure y'all show some love to Miss Hill for that gift. Thank you, my love, Miss Toya. Hey, love. Come on, y'all. Let's help Lupac reach her goal if we can. We love you, Lupac, and I love y'all more. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the ones that try. I appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Thank you, Miss Teresa, for that firework. And thank you to my sister, Real Nini the GOAT, period. Hey, Lupac and Chat, please hit the like button and support the goal. Shout out to my sisters that's in the chat, baby. I love y'all. Thank you, Miss Angela D. She said, Lupac, I'm glad you are staying on this case and helping to bring awareness to all the things they are lying about and hiding, praying they get him help before something else goes wrong for Karmelo. And let me tell y'all, one of the reasons why I'm steadfast and I prayed about this situation. And God told me, keep going. Keep going. And I had a conversation with my oldest son, who is around the same age as Karmelo. My baby just made 18 in April, and he's about to go off to college in August, right? And I just, having a conversation with him and talking about this. And it's like, bro, this could be my child. This could be anybody's child, anybody's black child. Or are these people okay? Karmelo is the president. He was put in this position for a reason. God works in mysterious ways, but he never gives us more than we can handle. And that baby was put in this position for a reason. And even as I look back on what could have potentially been, the legal error surrounding the case, even people debating on whether or not Karmelo should have got on the stand, I don't think he should have got on the stand. And let me tell y'all why. Not because, it's actually better for somebody who's trying to get get self-defense to get on the stand, because that's 100% correct. It is a 90% better outcome if the defendant gets on the stand when he's claiming self-defense. But I think it was good he didn't get on the stand, because it further supports his ineffective counsel. Everything happens for a reason, y'all. Hence why I say don't even dwell on that trial. Let's not dwell on that trial. Let's look forward to what's to come, because everything that happened for a reason. It was meant for Karmelo to not get on that stand. For one, his defense didn't even prepare him. Didn't prepare him. Prosecution, even though Karmelo didn't have a background, prosecution still could have ate him alive, because his defense dropped the ball. So it was good that he didn't get on the stand, in my opinion, for those reasons alone. Because guess one thing the prosecution didn't drop the ball on? They didn't drop the ball on preparing them 21 witnesses who all validated the 9 facts of Hunter not being there. Every single one of those witnesses who didn't get struck validated each other by stating Hunter was nowhere around. When you got Hunter doing multiple interviews stating himself that on one, he confronted Karmelo first, and then on another it's something completely different. Make it make sense. Who's lying? Hunter or the witnesses? We're gonna get into it. Thank you, Miss Angela. Thank y'all for the love. Thank you, Terry, bro. He said 12 more to go, y'all. Who gonna do their big one? Who finna do their big one on Pac in the chat? Let me stop. Y'all know I'm goofy. All right, let's go down. Hey, Texas Chick. Hey to everybody coming in. Thank you, Miss Hill. Hey, Miss Eugenia, my love. Shout out to Love Cat for being a member for 23 months. She say, it's crazy that I'm in Mexico having a ball and listening to Pac, and the rest of my phase when I catch him on YouTube is all love. Shout out to you. Enjoy your trip, my girl. Thank you, Miss Hill. Thank you, Miss Hill, for those gifted memberships. Shout out to Incognito Reels in the building. Period. Y'all. I love that. Shout out to y'all. They coming from all over. He big on TikTok, y'all. Thank you for those memberships. Thank you, Nene sister, and thank you again. Thank y'all for the fireworks. Thank y'all for the love. Y'all know I appreciate y'all down. Miss Eugenia coming through with the orange fireworks. She said, absolutely. This case is revealing the secrets of the judicial system that has been lynching our babies since the beginning. Keep going, Pac. And I'm not going to stop. We ain't going to stop till we get results. I don't care if it's a year or 2 years from now, because it could be my baby. And that's why I pray so hard over my child when he goes anywhere. Because like Karmelo, he could be put in a situation where he's not looking for trouble, but trouble is looking for him. Wrong place at the wrong time. Anything can happen. We teach our kids to avoid trouble at all costs, but are we teaching our kids what to do when trouble approaches? See, that's two totally different conversations, y'all. They need to know how to avoid it, and they also need to know what to do if confronted with it. And even then, peep this, y'all. Even then, you don't know the mind frame or of a, because it's kids at the end of the day. Everything shifts, everything changes once confronted or once in that moment of distress, because now you got to make a split-second decision on how to react. Now you done forgot everything mom and daddy didn't taught you, because you in a moment of making a split-second decision to protect yourself. It's easy to say run away from danger. That's easy to say. But guess what? You're not always awarded the opportunity to run away from danger. Sometimes when you're confronted by danger, danger block off all exits. How you run away then? What does your child do then when they confronted with a situation where all exits of them leaving are blocked off? What do they do? We got to make it make sense. So let me finish reading this, and I'm going to put something on the screen, y'all. Let's see. Y'all know I'm passionate. When I get into it, baby, listen. Let's see. So it says a few important points. One, a notice of appeal has already been filed. We know that Anthony filed it less than 24 hours after his conviction and sentencing. Number two, a motion for a new trial is separate from the appeal. People need to understand that, y'all. Separate from the appeal. The motion for a new trial is completely separate, okay? And that is going to be off the basis of ineffective assistance of counsel. That's going to be the determining factor for a new trial, right? So it states it's a request asking the trial judge to vacate the verdict and order a new trial based on alleged legal errors, newly discovered evidence, juror misconduct, prosecutorial misconduct, ineffective assistance of counsel, or other grounds. And we know, we the people, we the civilians, we the onlookers, we the spectators, we know that all of those things can be founded. All of them. It's obvious. This wasn't no tight ship of a railroading. This was a sloppy job done where they thought they can hide from the public by keeping the cameras out. But baby, it's too many smart people out here. It's too many smart people out here. We ain't going. Every single thing that falls under the grounds of a new trial, whether it's alleged legal errors, we know that was done. We even know the Batson, well, that will fall under the appeal, right? That's something different. But newly discovered evidence. One thing that will be major in this situation is, and let me say this, y'all. Notice how I've been speaking on the spliced up video that was released to the public, right? Splice edited video. You got people that's disappearing from the frame. They turning into ghosts walking in the damn frame. You got one side where you can clearly see the video, the camera angle, it was cut off because you can see people moving in the cutoff portion as if it was an overlay edit, a bad edit job. You can see that it was definitely an altercation under the tent amongst multiple kids. You can see multiple arms swinging, not just four, because we know Karmelo didn't swing, right? As far as we concerned, we didn't know from what they testified. If we going off of their testimony, and even now, y'all, it's hard to even believe anything. Because I noticed one thing I noticed about people covering this case, I see people regurgitating things that were stated by the witnesses, but we already know the witnesses to be liars because they said Hunter wasn't there. Hunter wasn't involved. That's a lie. Hunter stated out of his own mouth he was involved. And I'm going to play it. So we already know the people that was in court on the prosecution side, we already know them to be deceptive. So at that point, once you take away somebody's credibility, you would be at a disadvantage by believing anything they say moving forward. So it's like you really can't take you got to take everything they said with a grain of salt because they were already proven to be non-credible via their own friend who they was defending, who they was testifying on the behalf of. They helping Hunter, but we can see from Hunter's videos that he's saying something completely different, hence why he wasn't in court. Hence why he wasn't in court, y'all. Okay? So, another thing, newly discovered evidence. Oh, take me back to that video. One thing that I found out, according to people that was in court during this trial, the jurors wasn't even given the original video as a reference point. That's major. Because of, they edited out the video, right? They spliced it up, they zoomed it in to pixelate it. It was so grainy. They wasn't even given the original video for reference. That is major. That is major, y'all, because the prosecution was supposed to give them the original video for reference. Hey, this is what we came up with to determine that he's guilty on our end, and this is what we use. This is the original video in its original format for reference so that y'all can see we ain't just threw something together. It's so many legal errors surrounding this situation. It don't make no sense, y'all. Why wasn't the jurors given the original video for reference point? Because guess what? Shout out to the Dream Team and for the ones who saying, oh, if it wasn't presented in evidence, it won't be able to be used. But guess what? It was indeed presented because not only was it presented, but it was zoomed to a pixelated capacity to where they couldn't make out who was who in the first damn place. They zoomed in and out, spliced it up, and manipulated it to show Karmelo as the aggressor. They even cut out points, cut off points, all of that. Any professional editor can show and tell you exactly what I'm saying by looking at that video, by looking at it. So that's why people keep saying, well, damn, how Karmelo go from under the canopy to Superman making it to the top of the canopy and you don't even see when he moves? Use your brain, baby. How you think that's possible? Clearly something is missing. Clearly something was edited out. Clearly a timestamp was removed. Something was removed. It is literally impossible, humanly impossible. We ain't aliens. We ain't superheroes. We can't fly unless we on a plane. That's impossible. People kept reiterating that. How is it that Karmelo made it from under the canopy to the top of the canopy in a split second. They tell you, pay attention right here. Pay attention because he going to go from here to here. We wouldn't have to pay attention so goddamn hard if y'all left the part in where he got from under there. But the reason, in my opinion, let's say this, my opinion, the reason why they took that part out because it was a part of the altercation. People were still throwing bowls underneath that canopy. That part is still in the video. Why is there all that movement when Karmelo is at the top? Why people still throwing hands? They fighting their own people at that point. They was trying to jump on this baby ass so bad, they didn't even realize he was gone. You got to make it make sense. So many legal errors. Let's go. Come on, computer. Stop timing out. We also have newly discovered evidence. You know, they got all of that, y'all. Juror misconduct. We know that. That, you know, under my opinion, that would also fall with well, not technically with the Batson challenge, because that's about leaving out African Americans from, you know, qualified African Americans from the jury. But juror misconduct, let me see what would fall under that. I don't know. I would have to see. I would have to look that up to see and to do a little more research to see what the people that were actually in court. See, we would have more transparency and more leg room and context to work with if they released the damn transcripts, like every other case does once it's over, including the autopsy. Why are all these things sealed from the public? If there were no legal errors, if this was about fairness, like Judge Roach said, if all of this was about fairness, why no transparency even after the ruling? That baby's sitting in jail for a 35-year sentence. And it's still no transparency surrounding this case. And y'all really think this was a fair situation? This wasn't a railroading situation? We can't see the autopsy. We can't see the video. We can't see the transcript. But this was fair, though. What are they hiding? What are they hiding from the public? So the ones in the back that want to come and be ignorant in people's comment sections, and they don't even know what the hell going on. They just chop. Let me shut up. I'm about to say something. So let's keep going. Also, where did I stop? Prosecutorial misconduct. That's another one. You got the prosecutor asking young, brain barely developed witnesses, was this self-defense or murder? And then you got the dumbass defense not even objecting. They want to object on the sidebar. They want to object to Karmelo being called a murderer on the sidebar, but not on the record where it actually matters. Ineffective assistance of counsel. Periods. How you not object? First of all, that is manipulation and swaying of the jurors when you got witnesses giving their opinion, because that's all it is. A manipulated opinion, a coerced opinion, might I add, because they was trained, allegedly. Had to be if everybody's saying the same shit. At least some stories differ. You got 21 witnesses all saying the same thing, as if they reading off of a teleprompt. And then you got the daddy in the audience coughing and shit. When the defense is asking the witness about the size difference between Austin and Karmelo, the witness was like, you know, Austin was bigger, and here go Jeff. Sir, do you need a peppermint and some water? And nobody said nothing. Even Cody Thomas from Court TV said that, and he another one of the cousins that we don't claim, okay? Even he stated that Jeff was in court trying to manipulate or sway the witnesses. Just go look it up. Court TV, Cody Thomas, about the Karmelo Anthony trial. I forgot which day that it was, but just giving y'all a little context. But even he stated that. Shout out to Queen Sheba. Even she stated that. Shout out to Nika Knight. Even she stated that. Even Mel stated that. All of the people who are known for attending these trials stated the same thing. Even what they call it? Not new media, mainstream media. Cody would fall in the mainstream media. From my understanding, he was the only black media person, mainstream media person allowed. New media had to fall under the public, the civilians. 25 seats allowed. No separate courtroom for viewing with a screen. No, none of that. Baby, if that don't tell you they was trying to keep this railroading a secret, I don't know what will. Period. So let's keep going. We already know prosecutorial misconduct. I just spoke on that. Ineffective assistance of counsel. I would be all day telling y'all about that. I'd be all day telling y'all about how the defense dropped the damn ball. And I'm not even an attorney. Okay? So yeah. Number 3, and then it says notifying the court that they plan to file the motion is not the same as the motion being granted, y'all. Gotta specify that. At this stage, it simply means the defense is signaling its intention to ask for that relief. So that's basically just letting them know we will be filing a motion for a new trial. We gathering all our evidence, but we giving y'all heads up. Okay? We're giving y'all heads up. Let me see. And then it also states the judge could grant it, deny it, or require hearing depending on the grounds asserted. But let me tell y'all how much the defense is on their P's and Q's, baby. Because they also filing a motion to recuse Judge Cockroach. Because if he was unfair during the trial, he damn sure ain't finna be fair during the appeal situation. We don't need him here. We need a whole new judge covering this situation. And let me tell y'all this, anytime defense is trying to recuse or they file a motion to recuse a judge, 9 times out of 10, that judge either showed obvious biasness during the trial or after the trial or before trial, or there's some type of connection between some type of connection established between the judge and the victim family. The man, we already know that connection was established between the judge and the Metcalfs. That's already been stated. Pictures are literally all over social media. Everybody sharing pictures showing the judge, whether it's the judge and his wife. It was even stated that allegedly the judge's wife was the attorney. You know, the Judge Roach's wife is an attorney also. It was stated that his wife is allegedly the attorney for Megan Metcalf from when she divorced Jeff ass. Conflict of motherfucking interest. This is crazy. So that's another thing they filed, y'all. They filed that motion to recuse Judge Roach ass because of biasness, obvious biasness. That's my opinion, right? We don't know the reasons why they filed it yet, but we can only spectate. And based on my observation, those would be the reasons: obvious biasness and establishing some type of conflict of interest. That's my opinion based on the things that I've seen. We'll find out why, the reasons why, later on when more things develop. Let me see. Given what the new legal team has said publicly, the issues they're expected to examine include: 1, jury selection, including the Batson challenge. We already know we got that in the bag. And just on the strength of, they try to say, oh well, the reason why they struck those 3 qualified black jurors is because they were educators, but they left an educator or educators on the juror of different ethnicities. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. If you gonna remove educators, remove all educators, regardless of their color. And then you got Jeff ass exposing their side even further with his statements. He literally was on the record, literally did an interview stating that black people are incapable of being jurors because whatever. But he stated that on the record, y'all. So I'm wondering, does the judge share the same sentiments because he allowed those black jurors to be struck? Keep talking, Jeff. We hear you. We listening. Let us know more. What you say? Shout out to Miss Angela for being a member for 30 months. She say they need to get raid for that roach. Period. So, also, whether any trial errors affected the verdict, we know that. Number 3, whether evidentiary rulings were improper. 4, any constitutional or due process issues that could warrant a new trial. Baby, if done correctly, because it's that system, not even just Texas, but we talking about Texas, is so crooked it don't make no sense. It's more and more every single day. More things are coming out. More people are being involved. I seen somebody made a comment and they were saying it jokingly. This was a Metcalfian. Shout out to Christopher King. That's what he called him. They said, so y'all saying everybody was damn near everybody was involved in setting up Karmelo Anthony. Yes, the fuck. We sure are. Because that's what it's seeming like. According to the evidence y'all provided, that's what it's given. Damn near everybody is coerced, is in cahoots. Okay? Period. And it's all being uncovered. So, let me see. Hold on. Okay, we did that. Let me see. What is this? Let me read Michael Campbell's statement. Y'all know Michael Campbell is a part of the Not Guilty Boys. Shout out to Lakeisha Keisha because she secured an interview with them. I think it's gonna be tomorrow, so I'm gonna definitely be in the building for that. But Michael Campbell, he's been advocating really hard with the Karmelo situation on his social medias alongside Andrew Wilkerson. They together collectively make up the Not Guilty Boys. Michael said the first round of appellate motions are being filed for Karmelo Anthony. It includes a motion for a new trial and a motion to recuse trial judge Roach, who as of now still has jurisdiction over the case and who would be the one making the ruling on the motion for new trial if he is not recused. The first step here is the motion to recuse. Now the ball is in Judge Roach court as he can voluntarily recuse himself based on the law, or if he chooses not to recuse himself, Karmelo Anthony's appellate team can then ask for a hearing before a separate independent judge who can make the ruling on whether Judge Roach should be recused or not. Okay? It says, Judge Roach, based on his statements he made in the media following trial, is biased and definitely should recuse himself, in my opinion. After that is settled, then the motion for a new trial will be heard. I'm assuming under the premise of ineffective assistance of counsel, but I need to see the actual motion for a new trial myself. By law, both hearings will need to occur within 75 days of the verdict per the code for the motion to recuse and the motion for new trial. He say, either way, get your popcorn ready. Oh, period. I love that. Okay. So we did those details. Now we finna get into them lying ass witnesses, allegedly, or Hunter, whoever, one of them, either or, somebody lying. Okay. Somebody lying and somebody telling the truth. All right, let's get into that. Where is my paper? Hold on, y'all. What is this? Trial begins. Start included. When court began at 9:15 on Tuesday, Judge Rose and told the court you've been working with us. Defense attorney Michael Jeopardy. This is a legal doctrine that limits or is intended intentionally use the word say relevant precedent for his objection stems from so this I had one of the I must have had this for that last live I did, but it's I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go because that I'm gonna have to break that down. Um Hold on, y'all. What is this? Okay. Trying to find my other one. Difference between that's not it. Students dispute self. Okay, this is it right here. This is it right here, baby. All right, let me pull this up. Okay. So, this is from I think CBS News, Texas, or CBS News, Texas, y'all. And they've been putting out witness statements. Happy Saturday, Miss Joyce. They've been putting out witness statements that were actually in court because they had mainstream media there. So in all actuality, the only things we got to go off of as far as the transcript and things that were said on the, in court is from mainstream media because they were allowed. Okay. They were damn near the only ones allowed with the exception of 25 seats for public. And then from what I heard, they had reserved spots for Karmelo's family, like 9 or 10 spots for Karmelo's family, 9 or 10 spots for the Metcalf family. And even with that, other family members were still fighting, not physically, with onlookers and civilians and new media for those 25 seats. Like, damn, how many family members y'all need in court? Like, outside of 10. That's the crazy part. Outside of 10. So, let's get into this, y'all, because we're going to play what Hunter said also to combat what the witnesses said. All right. Where is this at? Hold on, y'all. Okay, so it says students dispute self-defense claim on day 2 of Karmelo Anthony murder trial. This would fall under hold on. I literally just said it and I forgot. I'm gonna tell y'all what this will fall under. Not I don't know. This would probably fall under prosecutorial misconduct because they was the ones questioning those witnesses. So this would probably they not just them, the defense also, but this would probably fall under prosecutorial misconduct, y'all. Don't quote me. But it says Frisco High School students who witnessed the fatal poking of Austin Metcalf backed up the state's case. And that's interesting also because it was said that they didn't even witness it. And if we going off of the video, if they witnessed it, how was it that nobody was back by Austin when he collapsed? Everybody, damn near everybody, was taking flight to chase Karmelo when Austin was, and that's when they looked back and noticed Austin collapse. Even Austin was in pursuit until he realized something was wrong. Made a statement, then collapsed. So how is it that they witnessed the poking? They were around, but I don't think nobody witnessed the poking. In my opinion, y'all, based on everything that I'm seeing now, everything that's coming out, y'all, I don't know why, but I have this feeling that Karmelo wasn't even the one to poke Austin. And that's my opinion, and I got a feeling that's gonna come out later. I really do believe, and bump people saying, oh, he admitted to it. No, he didn't. Go back and listen to that police body cam. You did not hear that young man say, I poke Austin Metcalf. You did not hear him say that. What you heard was somebody say, I'm not alleged. And then you didn't even hear the did it part because the video cut off. You heard somebody, emphasis on the somebody, because that body cam was dated for if I'm not mistaken, February something 2016 or 2019. Not April 2nd, 2025. So it's some controversy even surrounding the body cam. And notice one of the major things I noticed that's questionable on that body cam is why they never show Karmelo's face. And don't give me that, oh, he's a minor shat, or he was a minor at the time, because they show everything else when it's pertaining to skin folk. They show everything else. Why we couldn't see the injuries on his face? Because in my opinion, that's what they was hiding. Because that baby definitely had visible, bump what Officer Cortez said. Karmelo had visible injuries. You can see it through their black and white photo mugshot of Karmelo on the incident report. You can literally see the abrasions, the raised, like the swelling under his eye, the swelling on the bridge of his nose. You can see his hair missing on the side. You can see all of that through the black and white. So imagine what that police body cam would have showed in real time. In real time. So let's go here and read. It states, I read that part. The students described a tense scene inside a tent at a track meet and told jurors they did not believe Karmelo acted in self-defense. But guess what? It wasn't up to them to decide whether they believed it or not. That would be considered manipulating / slaying the jurors' decision. That's when Mike Howard was supposed to say object at least 15 or 23 times, because it was said that damn near all those witnesses were saying the same thing, which is weird. Because even if people witness, it's human nature, right? You can tell when something is rehearsed or coerced, or you can tell when it's they worked on it. It was pre-record. What? Hold on, y'all. Okay. You can tell when something is coerced, in my opinion, right? But the way the human brain works, you can have 50 people, if not more, witness the same thing, and every single one of those people gonna tell a different story. Now, the major details of said story might be the same, but from different perspectives of different human brains and the way brains process things, it will differ. Hence, the people who seen the video at Frisco ISD, notice every single person had slight differentiations with their storytelling, but the overall story was exactly the same. That can't be said for the witnesses. It gave rehearsed. It gave coerced. It gave, this is what you gonna say. It gave prior preparation. And this came from me reading what CBS put out, and also people that were actually in court, onlookers, bloggers, new media, it also came from them. That you could tell that those witnesses were prepared. So it says the second day of testimony at the Collin County Courthouse was especially difficult for Metcalf family. Jurors and the victim's parents watched police body camera video showing officers performing CPR on the 17-year-old. Why we don't have that either? Along with the anguished cries of his twin brother who was at the scene. Prosecutors also presented the folding 5-inch poker. Notice how they say the folding 5-inch poker and not the multi-tool. And they didn't even note that the blade was only 3.5 inches. It was 5 inches in its entirety. But the law goes by the blade size, not the whole product. And if we going off of what is actually factually called, it's a multi-tool. Okay, it's not a cleat tool. You know, they had something on there that could tighten cleats, but it's not a cleat tool, y'all. It's a multi-tool, aka Boy Scout tool. You know, that's what they call it. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So it says they say was used as the murder weapon. Several current and former Memorial High School students took the stand throughout the day. Witnesses recount confrontation under the tent. The first, pay attention right here, y'all, because we're gonna need to keep this recollection when we play Hunter's video to show the differences, okay? To determine who's truthful and who's a damn liar. So it says the first witnesses were track and field teammates who were under the tent at Kukendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025. A 17-year-old student described the moments leading up to the poking. I remember, and it's in quotes, so this is verbatim from the witness, one of the witnesses on the stand. I remember people confronting Karmelo saying, now who is those people? Right? This is where when you have a good defense, they make you elaborate. They make you give context because people can be anybody. But we need specific details, right? We need to know who said people are. Because we can presume, we can guess, but we need to know exactly who those people are. Was it Hunter and Austin? Because according to Hunter, it was stated that they told Karmelo he needed to move. Now, it was also stated, and I'm being fair and unbiased, it was also stated that multiple told Karmelo he needed to move, which leads me to my next inquiry, right? Why was it that other kids from other schools, you know, them kids that was blocked off in that Splice video, you know, all them blocks, you know, professional editors, shout out to Incognito Reels. Yeah. Why is it that other kids who were under the tent from other schools allowed, but Karmelo was restricted? A decent, not just a decent human being, but a decent kid raised by decent human beings. I know my child ain't finna keep, I don't care if they are from opposing schools. My child, the way my child was raised, he's not going to not only verbally try to remove another kid when it's raining, he ain't going to do it physically either because he's not built nor raised like that. He's not built nor raised to presume to have authority over other kids. No. If anything, he would have never said nothing. He would have went got an adult because he understands what can come from aggressive confrontation, bullying. My child understands that, right? So, and he would have never put his hands on that child either. Why people keep saying, why did he bring a knife to school? This is the narrative I wish people would get away from. Because first of all, I don't even think, and I feel at least 98% strongly about the fact, my fact, not a fact of the case, right? So we're going to just say my opinion. I feel that that wasn't Karmelo's multitude. And the reason why I say that is because if they snatched Karmelo's book bag early on in the confrontation, when did he have time to get a multi-tool out of it? Remember, pay attention to key details and context given with this situation. The kids, those boys, those Metcalf boys were allegedly stated to be the ones, along with others, to put up the canopy. Remember, Hunter said in his interview, they put up the canopy and then they went and made their way over there to Emerson Middle School tent because they knew the coaches and some of the kids over there. Remember? Hunter said that. And then when they came back to their tent, their canopy, I keep saying tent, but it's a canopy and it's a difference, right? When they made their way back to their canopy, that's when they seen Karmelo. And that's why I don't understand why people keep saying the twins were there first. That it was never a situation of the twins sitting under there and then Karmelo coming up behind them talking shat. That's the narrative they want y'all to believe. But believe what your eyes see. Believe what your eyes see. Even the video, the splice up video was manipulated to make it seem like, if you notice the walking point, right? You got to pay attention to when the video starts and stops. When the scene starts and stops. That is crucial to you seeing who was there first and who wasn't. If you notice from their evidence, right? Believe your eyes. This is why I'm telling y'all, believe your eyes. If you notice from their evidence, they literally put out scenes of different video angles in order to manipulate the masses into believing that those twins were already sitting there, which was what was testified. But in their exact video, you see Hunter and Austin walking up to Karmelo under the canopy, walking at full speed to get up under that canopy, looking for trouble, bringing the trouble. They wasn't just jollyganting and walking briskly. No, them thick ass kids knew exactly what they was going to do. Hence why you see them going straight to that canopy, damn near speed walking, and went straight up to Karmelo to confront him. That's what the video shows that they put out. You see them coming from our right, which will be their left. You see them coming, like literally coming from the side, what they call a little space in between the bleachers. I don't want to say sidewalk, but we'll say sidewalk. You see them coming from the right. At first, you see them in one scene, you see them on the left, right? And on the left coming through the gates. And then on another scene, because the scenes keep jumping from different angles, different cameras, you see them coming from the right. And you see them walking up straight through the middle of the canopy where Karmelo and Eddie was sitting at. Because remember, it was stated that Karmelo didn't just go under that canopy. Karmelo was called over there. He was headed to the field to stretch out. And it started raining, and Eddie called him over there. And it makes a whole lot of sense, too, because from my understanding, the defense showed where Eddie and Karmelo was under the very same canopy maybe a week prior, but the twins weren't there. They were allegedly suspended. So they wasn't in attendance. And guess what? That track meet was without conflict. Hint, hint. So he didn't have no issue with none of the people under the memorial canopy the week prior. But that week that the twins are there, a schmurder happens. Child, you just cannot make any of this up. So, back to what I was saying, and I'm gonna show y'all that video too. So it says, let me see, where did I stop off? The first week, okay, I read that part. I remember people, this is what the witness said, y'all. I remember people confronting Karmelo and saying, you shouldn't be here. You probably should leave our tent. The student testified. I also said you should leave. That's what one witness said. Now, mind you, there's no issue with none of the other kids that's from different schools under tents. Because from my understanding, it was kids from all over. This is a track meet, right? They all were under different canopies of different schools because it started raining. And it was stated that Karmelo school tent canopy wasn't ready yet. Hint, hint, also why he went sit under there with Eddie. Right? And let's take, because this pissing me off. The people who keep saying he was restricted. Under what basis? Under what grounds? This is where we go back into the decency of human beings. There is nothing legally that states he couldn't be. They might have owned the canopy, but they didn't own the damn bleachers. They didn't own the bleachers. And shout out to Mel watching the world, who's in damn near every major court case. Mel said that they learned in court that Karmelo wasn't even sitting under the canopy all the way. In court, they learned that. His body wasn't even technically under the canopy. He was sitting behind the canopy. But from the angle, notice they didn't show that angle behind the canopy. See, it's y'all. This is why I tell people to use their brains, right? You can literally go on the school's website, Kukendall, high school. You can go on their website. You can see camera footage. You can see how good the cameras are. You can see the different angles. Shout out to the people who already did that. And that's why I know this information. Hold on, y'all. Something in my eye. 1 second. All right, y'all, my bad. My natural eyelash is so long, child. I stay having eyelashes in my eye on my contact. Okay, so what was I saying, y'all? I didn't forgot. Hold on. Damn, what was I saying? Let me pull this up. Okay, we got 253 in the building, y'all. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. And if you want to support your girl, if you want to tip your girl, if you're enjoying this content, you can cash at me at $Lupac2. And I think we met the goal, but you can still support via super chat, super sticker. If you want to get your comment read priority, you can hit up the super chat and I will read it as soon as it comes in. Okay? So what was I saying, y'all? I forgot. I went to go take that damn eyelash out of my eye and forgot what I was saying. Let me see. It's gonna come to me. Refusing to leave the tent. Okay. Damn, I real life forgot. So let's get back to it. It's gonna come back to me. So the witness said, I remember Karmelo refusing to leave and Austin saying, wait, I went too far. Hold on, y'all. I went too far. So the witness said, when asked by prosecutors whether the confrontation was aggressive, the student replied, I don't think so, before adding, I remember it getting more aggressive, right? And then it says, according to testimony, Anthony refused repeated requests to leave. Oh, that's what I was saying. They didn't own the bleachers. But notice how they got, y'all, this is why I say it was manipulated and spliced up. Because if you giving us some clips where it's perfect in 4K, why the hell are the clips that matter grainy and pixelated and all the way zoomed in to where all the figures, the humans, are blurry? Why? Why? Why not give us the zoomed in part, but then also give us the full unedited part for reference points, like they should have gave the damn jurors? Why? Why did they only give what was manipulated and presented to the jury to paint Karmelo as a murderer who intended on unaliving Austin? Because that's exactly what it was, in my opinion. But like I said, go on the website and you can see angles from up top, meaning behind where that canopy would have been. Because notice that canopy wasn't at the top of the bleachers. It was more so towards the bottom, right? So there are angles that could have caught from behind, right on the side, on the right side, the left side, the front, the back. Those are how good those cameras are with Kendall. So why wasn't the footage from all angles released? No, let me take that back. It was released, but it was manipulated. It was manipulated to paint that baby as a murderer who intended on committing murder, and not an unintentional self-defense. They could have even went the multiple assailant route. But you see, notice all of those witnesses were coerced into saying that, and this is where God comes in at, right? Shout out to Nika Knight, because she was in court every day. And she stated that those prosecutorial witnesses all stated verbatim that Karmelo was the aggressor. They made those statements. But she said as they started giving context and explaining, they described Austin as the aggressor. So they said Karmelo was the aggressor because that's what they were told to say, allegedly. But they described Austin as the aggressor in detail. Is that making sense to y'all? Meaning, as they going into detail and describing the events that took place, they're describing Austin as the aggressor. How the jury didn't catch on to that? Oh God, I'm so disgusted with this trial, with these people. Like they really did this boy so wrong. Like I just, oh child. Yes, Miss Vonda. She said go on the school website. T. Stanley said about him not being all the way. Okay, thank you. Look, it came back to me. Shout out to you. It came back. So they also said, let me see, where did I stop? He said, when asked by prosecutors whether the confrontation was aggressive, the student replied, I don't think so, before adding, I remember it getting more aggressive. According to the testimony, Anthony refused repeated requests to leave. And at that point, in my opinion, why the hell didn't not one, not two, it was so many people under that canopy to the point where, based on my editorial skills, people were blocked off or erased out or blurred out to make it seem like it wasn't that many people under there. That's what I took from it, based on the disappearing people turning into damn ghosts, and you could see people walking through the bleachers, and y'all, a whole hot mess and a half. But I think that was manipulated to make it seem like all those people wasn't under there to disprove multiple people confronting Karmelo, right? They try to make it seem like, oh, everybody was just telling him to leave. And well, why the hell wasn't y'all telling him to leave before the twins got there? Make it make sense, y'all. Notice, witnesses who saw the Frisco ISD video said Karmelo was sitting under that canopy for a good 9 to 10 minutes before the twins even arrived. And he wasn't the only one under there. So if it was a problem, why? And see, this is where defense does their job. If Pop can do it, why the defense didn't do it? Why? But you see, that all falls under them not showing that video too. So those things don't go into play in court because they didn't even show it. They didn't show it. They didn't show the real unedited version of the video to paint a different narrative. They needed this baby to be guilty. Okay? They needed that. So, of course, things were manipulated, in my opinion. But why is it that nobody else felt the need for Karmelo to need to leave from under the canopy until the twins got there? Remember, these are opposing schools, meaning multiple kids, not just those twins were opposed to Karmelo's school. The other kids that was under there also, but they didn't have an issue. So why is it that when the twins get there, everybody want Karmelo to move or asking him to leave? And if it was just a seating issue, if all of this was surrounding him moving, why the hell when he ran, they pursued him? Why did they take flight after him? And don't say because Austin was poked. Because guess what? Austin, you can see Austin in the video also about to take flight and chase Karmelo until he realized he was wounded and then said something, then collapsed. That's when those boys turned around, and I think only maybe 2 or 3 kept chasing Karmelo. But the other ones who were closer to Austin, when they realized he collapsed, that's when they surrounded him. And then everybody, oh, help, go and get help. So if it was only a seating issue, why they started chasing him when he left? I thought that they didn't want him under there. I thought that was the issue, right? So you gotta get up a little bit earlier to fool the smart people. A little bit earlier. Y'all waking up too late for us. So let's keep going. Then they said, I remember Karmelo refusing to leave and Austin saying, you need to leave. And Karmelo saying, touch me and find out, the student said. Witnesses estimated Anthony was asked to leave as many as 15 times. Y'all, who the hell counts something like that? I know, and I know what an estimation is, right? Or an estimate about how many times, but to even give that number, first of all, child, and not just that, let's get into the coercion and the deception in this testimony, right? Notice the witness said, I remember Karmelo refusing to leave and Austin saying, you need to leave, and Karmelo saying, touch me and find out. Where does Hunter come into play? We can't skip over Hunter's involvement and go straight into what Austin said when Hunter, according to him, was the one who started the confrontation. You can even see on camera, and shout out to the bloggers that's pinpointing it now. You can see, and this is off of the prosecutorial video. That spliced up video that they gave. If you follow the video to a T, don't follow Austin. Follow Hunter. Go back and look at the video again, y'all, from Hunter's perspective. Follow Hunter. If you follow Hunter, you're going to follow him straight up to Karmelo. And you're going to see Austin go on all the way on the left side, our left. Remember, the video starts off by showing the boys coming through that side gate, walking briskly, very fast. They're walking very, very fast, going to confront someone. You can tell based off of their walk and the swiftness of their walk, they're going for trouble. Okay? You got to know how to read, baby. You got to know how to read body language and movements. They go and look for trouble. Period. I don't care what nobody say. That body language told it all. But if you pay attention, Austin and Carson, they walk in first. Austin and Carson, just Austin and Carson walk in first, right? They moving real quick. About 5 to 7 seconds later, here go Hunter and a couple other boys. They moving quick, trying to catch up to Austin and him. And then I want to say the scene changes. I can't remember. They walk for a good piece through that gate. And I think the scene then changes from another angle. Now you got to watch the right side because they coming from our right now, headed to their canopy. And if you watching Hunter, remember, Austin and Carson walking first. Hunter and the other ones is after. But if you watching, because see, they want you to watch Austin. They want you to watch Austin because they try to exclude Hunter. But if you watching Hunter, Hunter goes straight to the canopy up the middle where Karmelo is sitting. Not long after that, you can tell where they got to be discussing something because you don't see no arms really moving too much. But then you're going to see you're going to see a altercation ensue, right? But if you're watching Hunter, then you know Hunter went straight for that action. And when I say action, that's Louisiana talk. He went straight talking, popping his shat, okay? Straight up to Karmelo. He didn't sit down. Austin didn't sit down. Carson didn't sit. None of them thick-ass kids sat down. They all was standing over Karmelo. Karmelo was sitting down next to Eddie. Eddie, coward snake ass, probably stood up once the twins got there because, you know, now he got to act like he ain't cool with Karmelo. Like he ain't called Karmelo to come shoot the shot with him up under that tent, under that canopy. Now he got to act like he don't know Karmelo and go with their narrative, right? You know, that's the type of shit them fake ass friends be doing. So, pay attention, y'all. Y'all gonna see exactly what I'm saying. If you go back and watch the video from Hunter's perspective, you're gonna see exactly what Pac is saying. So, if that's what we see on the video that the prosecution put out, how is it that the witnesses are recusing Hunter? How is it? How is it that they're removing Hunter from the whole event when he was literally the one who started it? So let's keep going. Then it says, prosecutors asked whether anyone tried to gang up on Anthony. No, sir, the student said. So the student said they didn't try to gang up on Anthony, but the video says something completely different. And so does Hunter. The non-witness, the non-main witness, the non-main testifying witness said himself, you know, and the kid, I didn't know his name at the time. He started saying inappropriate things behind me, and then, you know, Austin steps in, you know, because Austin, you know, he's always had my back, you know, because that's, you know, anytime he has my back. And that sounds like a multiple assailant conversation to me. So they wanted us to believe Karmelo was talking and popping all this big aggressive shat, knowing he's outnumbered, knowing he ain't no street thug, knowing he ain't built like that, knowing now he gotta look on the ground for something to defend himself because they will not make me believe that that baby brought a knife to attract me or a multi-tool. I believe he picked it up from under their canopy. But you see, they gotta keep pushing that he brought a knife to attract me because it further supports the intent they try to force on him. So they gotta keep pushing it, y'all. They gotta keep pushing because people keep saying, well, why anytime you start really digging in the facts, here come the distractors. Well, why did he bring a knife to attract me? That's their only means of debating, right? Offsetting the facts of the story. Why did he bring a knife? How do y'all know he brought one? Were fingerprints taken? Did forensics get involved? They didn't even show the actual in physical murder tool. They didn't show that in court. They showed a picture of one that looked like it. So how do anybody know it was Karmelo's possession? They didn't prove that was for Karmelo. They didn't show like any other murder trial where it was purchased from, how long they've been had. If somebody got a pum, baby, they go and look through credit card records. They trying to see when and where it was purchased. They giving all that to the jury. They giving all that. According to people in court, the prosecutors they didn't feel like putting on gloves. Hence why they didn't pull out the real murder tool. What kind of shit is that? That's the most ghetto ass trial I ever heard of. Ratchet, cheap, ghetto. Ooh, child. I didn't even know that you can do that. Like, I didn't know a prosecutor could say, well, I don't feel like putting on gloves, so I'm going to just show y'all a picture of what he used. What y'all listen? Like that, y'all. And people don't see nothing wrong with this case. The prosecution was allowed to tell the people of the court, I don't feel like putting on gloves, so I'ma just show y'all a picture of the alleged murder tool. And everybody just went with it. The judge ain't say nothing. The defense ain't say shit. How they know that it even belonged to Karmelo? Why people keep saying he brought a knife to attract me? Prove it. Prove it. Prove that he bought it. Prove that he bought it. Can't nobody prove. I ain't seen nobody say that either. I think I'm the first person to say that there was no proof that he actually brought it there. People need to stop reiterating that because nobody proved, not even the police, proved that was Karmelo's possession. Nobody seen him take it out his bag. Because remember, if we going off of what the prosecution side said, the prosecutorial witnesses, remember, it was stated by their side that during the confrontation, when Karmelo allegedly, because I don't even believe Karmelo was enticing the situation. I don't believe he was provoking. I think the provocation came straight from them thick ass kids, the bullies. Because ain't nobody in a right mind, and you could tell by Karmelo's upbringing. Ain't no thug baby. That baby wasn't a thug. He wasn't a thug. He wasn't in the streets. He was a good kid. Even Cockroach said, I think he's a good kid who committed a crime. The audacity. The audacity. So you even think him to be a good kid, but you threw the book at him damn near, and you still gave him 35 years? It takes me back to him not having a criminal history, not having a background, first offender. Less time for first offenders. Not to mention, this is a kid. They were kids when this happened. Brains not even fully developed. Not only did they didn't even weigh in on the baby having epilepsy. And are brought in a medical professional who can attest to and give context to that disability. And what happens when stress is triggered? What happens when put in certain situations, the outcomes? What triggers the seizures? The defense didn't even do that. So remember, it was stated by those witnesses that between Karmelo and Austin, when Karmelo allegedly stated, because like I said, I don't believe he said none of this, to be honest. They said he said, touch me and find out, or something along those lines. And they said he was clenching onto his bag. And allegedly Austin stated, you ain't got nothing in that bag, this Frisco, right? So if we going off of that, according to the witnesses, what did they actually see him have? Because remember, they all took chase after Karmelo, including Austin, until he realized he was hurt. Nobody actually witnessed Austin being poked until they didn't even know he was poked until Austin stated he was poked. Facts, Auntie. Shout out to Auntie in the chat, baby. Nobody stated that. Nobody seen that. They saying they witnessed the incident, but they didn't witness the actual poking. And in my opinion, if they did witness the poking, I don't think it came from Karmelo. And this takes me back to defensive coordinator Joshua Redman from Liberty. This takes me back to him because he was the one who was assisting Austin, right? He was the one assisting Austin while the coach, telling the coach, y'all call 911. He was the one putting pressure on the wound. And that man, that highly educated man, because guess what? Coaches are also teachers. They're also educators, especially in high school. Joshua Redman testified that Austin had a nice size wound in his abdomen, not his chest. I showed y'all this on my last live, his testimony. I don't remember anybody stating it was an objection to his testimony. I don't think that highly educated coach / teacher wouldn't know the difference between the chest and the abdomen. Now, this is alleged, right? But I've seen people stating that when Austin realized he was poked, he grabbed his abdomen and not his chest area. That's alleged. Let me give a little more context to support this. If y'all notice, the picture that was released, and I showed y'all this also on my last live, you can't tell if it's a poke in the chest or the abdomen because they only gave us one picture all the way zoomed in. And it makes you wonder. And the reason why I'm saying this, y'all, because yes, a person can pass away from a poke straight to the heart, right? That's common. Abdomen, I would say, is more unlikely. Well, I ain't gonna say unlikely. I'm gonna say abdomen poke wounds are more easier survival. So I can't get my words together. The numbers are larger for a person to survive an abdomen wound versus a chest wound, right? And the reason why I'm saying this too is now it makes you wonder, because remember that fake medical report that my supporter sent me and everybody was saying it was fake, right? I've noticed other bloggers showing it on their platforms. And um one of the witnesses of the Frisco ISD video I actually spoke with. And early on, he's been covering the situation since it first happened. He lives in the area. He's been advocating and everything. And him and along with other people that, are collective, a team behind the scenes, collected evidence and things like that, actually requested the autopsy / medical report from Collin County, and Collin County wasn't responding it, like they was giving them a runaround, right? Because that's public information. It's supposed to be released to the public. So I guess from them constantly pestering and sending email inquiring about the release, they ended up leaking what was very similar to what's alleged to be fake now. They leaked it to those people, right? And that witness told me that at least 70%, this is alleged, because I didn't see it for myself. I'm talking about the real one, right? But that witness stated to me that at least 70% of that is factual. And he said that a lot of times when things happen that are corrupt, and they don't want certain things to be released, and the people working at the medical examiner's office and stuff like that, when they know it's wrong, they'll switch up some numbers or give a wrong birthday. They'll switch a couple things up, but they'll leak it. They'll leak the medical reports because they know people are hiding things, right? So they'll leak it. That way, that's to protect themselves, and they can later come back and say, oh, that was a mistake. It was wrong. Da, da, da. But just to get the word out, just to kind of get the word out, right? They'll leak it after switching certain things up, certain facts up on the medical report. So I kind of believe that medical report. I don't believe it in its entirety because, like what I just stated, the context I just gave, but I think some of the things are true in that report. And it makes you wonder with Joshua Redmond's testimony, like I told y'all, he was one of the first to come in contact with Austin after the poking happened. He assisted Austin's wound. He put pressure on Austin's wound. That is to make that type of mistake, verifiable mistake, right? Between chest and wound. That's major differences. It's not like we talking about a wound being on the left or the right side of the chest. He said abdomen. He said Austin had a major stab wound in his abdomen. That's what he testified. And I showed y'all that on my last live. So let's go back to that fake medical report. Now, mind you, that fake medical report said primary cause of DEATH was overdose. Secondary was blood loss due to poke wound. If a person has consumed a large amount of illegal rugs. In the case of trauma happening, a traumatic situation can trigger your body to go into shock and shut down, something like that. Remember, it was also stated that Austin was allegedly treated as a cardiac patient on the scene, not a poke wound patient, a cardiac patient. Y'all, Google the effects, right? Google the effects of having a lot of rugs in your system and then getting stabbed, and just play with it a little bit, and let me know what y'all find on our next live. Okay, let me know what y'all find. But it was stated that that's also why the ambulance wasn't rushing. It wasn't a panic type situation. They didn't treat it as an emergency situation. Notice, even in the body cam, the ambulance ain't running. They walking to the patient. They ain't running. They allegedly said that he was turning purple on the scene, and or not well, not on the scene. They say he was turning purple. They gave him some blood, administered some blood, and he, came back to color and he was fine. Hence why they didn't rush. They allegedly didn't take him to the closest hospital either. That's what was stated. I'm hearing that through the grapevine. They didn't take him to the closest hospital. They took him to one a little further. They didn't treat it as an emergency situation. He was good, but he ended up coding at the hospital. His body allegedly reacted to the D-rugs, coded at the hospital, whatever. Allegedly, okay? Because we wasn't there. So I got a feeling all of this gonna come out. All the details gonna come out. And even one of the witnesses that's working closely behind the scenes that lives in the area stated they spoke with multiple students who know both sides. And they stated they allegedly seen Austin popping candy that morning, throwing them back, baby. I don't know how true that is. I wasn't there, but that's what was stated. Okay. Notice I showed y'all a picture that was being sent around by students the day this ish happened. Students were sharing a picture of Austin stating basically, this what you get when you bullying people, or don't be breaking people's stuff, or something like that. Calling him a bully. Calling him a bully. They were laughing about his demise. That speaks volumes, because typically when somebody is unalived or somebody passes away, sympathy is human nature, right? Regardless of a person's past, unless they like a PDF file or a rapist or something like that, ain't no sympathy. Okay, you can go straight to hell. But situations like this, people tend to forget a person's character when it's their demise. But kids are wired a little differently. Kids don't move like adults. They were sending Austin's picture around with laughing emojis. Basically saying, use this as a prime example of to leave people alone and not be going around breaking people's stuff, blase, blase. Which is crazy. But, okay. Miss Eugenia says, this issue is all 8 of those boys that walk under that tent to bully Karmelo can and should be charged with murder, including his twin. That's how dad scared the parents at that barbecue to start that lie, allegedly. Period. Oh, and let me say this. Miss E, wait, hold on. Hey, Nay, hey, E, too short. You said that's why I don't understand why Karmelo was charged for M. Seemed like they unalive him. Y'all, at this point, based on the things that's coming out, I think it was one of the other kids, allegedly. This is my opinion. Whether it was Hunter, whether it was Carson, or whoever, I think one of the others was trying to poke Karmelo. If you notice Carmelo's urgency to get from under that tent, that canopy, the way y'all, that you swear that baby was Superman with the way he ran from up under that canopy. And I ain't talking about the part they cut out where he get from, well, we don't see how he actually left from under there and he just all of a sudden appear at the top. No, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about when he looked to the right, looked to the left, and hauled tail down. You can tell something tragic was going on under that canopy. That baby looked like he was running for his life. That's what I'm meaning. So I personally think that one of those kids was trying to poke. Because remember, it's still a lot of context and unanswered things that happen, like the kid throwing something in the trash can with urgency, right when Karmelo is seen at the top of the canopy. You can also see, that's why they tell you to pay attention to that, so you don't see the other details, the other questionable things being done. But this is what happens when you release something to the masses. You got millions of eyes on this, seeing everything that's happening in this situation. As Karmelo is at the top of the canopy, you got this other kid with urgency running, throwing something in the trash, then running back to under the canopy. Then you later see them taking it out the canopy, out the trash, giving it to whoever that was on the field, and then that person putting it in their pocket. People are saying that was a coach. I don't know which coach, but people saying that was a coach who one of the kids handed something to and they put it in their pocket, right? So it's a lot of things going on. That's why I can't wait to hear Karmelo's side. Because I got a feeling it ain't going to be relative to nothing they said. Nothing. Hence why Karmelo reacted the way he reacted in court when they gave him that 35-year sentence. That baby knew he was innocent. That baby knew he was innocent. And you can't tell me no differently. But back to what I was saying. I really, really believe, y'all, the more and more things are uncovered, the more and more I believe it. I really believe that one of those other boys poked Austin on accident, trying to poke Karmelo, but Karmelo got from up under that canopy. I think the poking happened after Karmelo got from up under there, but because he was so quick with it, they didn't even realize he was up from under there. Because remember, Karmelo was seated the entire time of the confrontation. So if you got all of these thick ass kids in a tight space hovering over one kid, once altercation, once an attack happens, you got arms coming from everywhere. It was easy for Karmelo to try to crawl up out of there without them even realizing he gone. I think that because if you pay attention also to the very left side of the video after the altercation, you can see that it's still some swinging going on. Don't just pay attention to Karmelo, the highlighted. Remember, they highlighted Karmelo because they want you to focus on him. No, focus on everything else going on up under that canopy. Take Karmelo completely out of it. And look at the other details. That's what they don't want y'all to see. That's what they don't want y'all to focus on. That's what they don't want y'all to inquire about. Because remember, they literally laid it out for us. They highlighted Karmelo in white to show his every move in that spliced up, manipulated video. Focus here. Remember, look here. Don't blink, because if you will, you're going to miss it. No, you're not. No, you're not. Don't pay attention to that. We already done seen what Karmelo did. Now let's see what the other people doing. And now everybody is putting pieces together. And it's a lot of questions that need to be answered surrounding the spliced, manipulated video that the prosecution used to convict this baby of Smurder. It's just disheartening, and this whole situation is sad, y'all. It's sad. Like, oh my God. But what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I really, really feel like one of those other kids accidentally poked Austin, whether it was his own brother. Because remember, the look of guilt that's been on Hunter's face, even during that press conference after the trial, it was stated that when Hunter was leaving, somebody said, "This is all your fault. You the reason your brother gone." And the person that this information came from, that was actually there and witnessed this being stated to Hunter, they said if Hunter could have died right there with that statement, he would have. They said if looks could unalive, basically. Like, he wasn't expecting that person to say that. But it's just, y'all, this is sad. But I really do believe one of them other kids poked Austin accidentally, and everybody is in cahoots painting Karmelo as the murderer. We're going to see more and more. Notice more and more evidence and details is coming out. You got more and more people speaking out. I need for more and more of those Dallas residents to speak on that initial video, that initial breaking news, Fox 4 Texas video that was put out at the scene that has been scrubbed from the internet, of them saying, not the boys, but the news reporter stating what Hunter them said at the scene. Before the parents got to them and, they came up with their manipulation and the different narrative and all of that. What they said in the moment when they knew they effed up. See, that's a completely different story. So, one more thing, y'all. Let me see. Okay, we seen, did I read all of this? Okay, let me read this part. Prosecutors asked whether anyone tried to gang up on Anthony. No, sir, the student said. The exchange lasted roughly 2 minutes, the witnesses testified. Karmelo started refusing to leave, the student said. When asked who was provoking the confrontation, the student responded, Karmelo. Listen, Austin leans in to push him. So if Austin is the one and the other kids are the ones telling Karmelo he gotta leave, and then Austin puts hands on Karmelo, but Karmelo is the one provoking confrontation, then why the hell is Austin the one putting hands on Karmelo first? Make it make sense. It says Austin leans in to push him. This is what the witness said, and Karmelo pokes him. The witness said, adding that Anthony had his hands inside a backpack and students believe he was bluffing. Now, let's go there. If that's how it transpired, then why did Hunter say that Austin took Karmelo's backpack? So at what point did he have time to get a poker out of there? How? How did he have time to grab a poker when those kids were literally surrounding him? And his brother, Hunter, not testified, child, because he didn't even go, stated that his brother took Karmelo's backpack. Even Jeff said on an interview that Austin took his backpack. Make it make sense. And we're going to get into my next live. I got something to show y'all. Hold on. I don't want to make this one too long, so I ain't going to show it on this one. So it said, and the students believe he was bluffing, right? So students describe aftermath of poking. The student testified that Metcalf fell down the bleachers, then stood up. Austin fell down the bleachers onto his back and he got up, the witness said. He lifted up his shirt where his chest was all bloody and he said, I think I got poked. When asked whether Metcalf said anything else, the student replied, I think he said, oh my God. Prosecutor, did it look like Austin was trying to pick a fight? Witness, no, sir. So you can put your hands on somebody, but that won't be presumed as you trying to pick a fight. That's what the people that was in trial meant when they said Karmelo was the aggressor, but they was describing Austin as the aggressor. Now y'all see what I'm talking about. Because how is it that Karmelo was picking a fight when he didn't put his hands on nobody? First, that came from Austin. So it just don't make sense. So, prosecutor, did it look like Karmelo Anthony was trying to pick a fight? Witness, yes, sir. Prosecutor, did this look like self-defense to you? Prosecutorial misconduct here. They're not supposed to ask these type of questions. This is where the defense was supposed to object. Okay, let's note that. Prosecutor, did this look like self-defense to you? Witness, no, sir. Prosecutor, was Karmelo Anthony the aggressor? Witness, yes, sir. Is y'all okay? Hold on, y'all. He was the aggressor, but not the initiator, but not the person to first commit the physical confrontation. Okay. Imagine you being the aggressor surrounded by 6 thick ass kids that's trying to force you to leave, but he the aggressor when he's outnumbered. But because the way they painted it as if it was only a confrontation between Austin and Karmelo. When you can see in the video, it's more than just that. So they want us to believe all them thick ass kids surrounding Karmelo wasn't saying nothing. They was just saying, you need to leave. You don't belong here, boy. Okay. So, twin brothers' role. This is the important part, y'all. There has been speculation about whether Austin's twin brother, Hunter, played a role in the confrontation. Both witnesses testified that Hunter was on the other side of the tent, scrolling on his phone, and was not involved until after the poking. More student witnesses are expected to testify late in the day. Mind you, when this was put out, this was during, days of the trial. Okay. So the other witness testimonies had not came out yet, even though the other witness testimonies co-signed these witnesses. But y'all notice those 2 witnesses at the time, that was the only 2 that had testified so far. They said Hunter was on the other side of the tent, scrolling on his phone, and was not involved until after the poking. That's what they said, y'all. He wasn't involved. Okay? He was just sitting there on the other side of the canopy, scrolling on his phone while his twin brother was having a aggressive physical confrontation with Karmelo. While the other see all these other kids surrounding Karmelo, but Hunter was, he just scrolling on Instagram and Facebook and looking at sports and cheerleaders, and he ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Just sitting on the other side of the canopy, scrolling his phone, and he was not involved till after the poking. Now let's hear from Hunter real quick. Come on, Hunter. It's your turn, baby. And imagine how this would have played out in court if Hunter was on the witness stand stating this versus what the witnesses said. Let's go. Lego. Let me pull up Insta real quick. Lego. Let's see what Hunter had to say about his involvement. Let's see if Hunter says he was sitting on the other side of the canopy scrolling on his phone the entire time, right? Let's see if he says that.
The ways. And me, my brother, a couple of kids were walking back from the field house of the middle school because we attended that middle school when we went to middle school. And we were saying hello to old coaches and catching up with them.
Okay, let me pause it right there too. Because remember, this whole situation was about a seating issue, allegedly. According to them, Karmelo was under a canopy that he was not allowed to be under. But if you listen here, you can clearly hear Hunter saying they was coming from another school's canopy, catching up, talking with the coaches and the kids because they attended that middle school. So they wasn't restricted, and it was okay for them to be under somebody else's canopy, but Karmelo was restricted, and it wasn't okay for him to be under their canopy. Y'all see how this go? Y'all see the difference? Y'all see the entitlement? Like do y'all see is it just me? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So they can go and wander off and go talk to coaches under other canopies and chill and catch up and this and that. But the minute someone's under their canopy that they presume to not belong, an altercation and an unaliving happens. I'm confused. Let's keep going. I just wanted to point that out because it's very contradicting, right? That everybody else can go and talk and catch up under everybody else's canopy, but Karmelo was restricted. He couldn't be under Memorial canopy. Okay, he didn't belong there.
And then we're walking back to our stand. We put our tent up so all the bleachers were right there were not wet from all the rain. We come back, we sit down, storm in the morning.
Notice he said it kind of backwards. They put up their canopy and then they went over to Emerson's canopy with the coaches and to catch up and this and that, which I think that was a lie in my opinion. I think they was over there because remember, they had an incident that happened with a Memorial girl. I mean a girl from Memorial. A girl from Emerson Middle School where the police was called because that girl was being harassed and messed with by can y'all figure out who? It was also said that that's why their parents were already there. Because mind you, they were suspended. But it was said the coach allowed them to come and to, help out, assist, and this and that at that meet. So it was no need for their parents to already be there. Hence why the narrative was pushed that the parents wasn't there, right? But it was already an incident, and I wish somebody would come out and speak on that incident with the girl, the middle school girl from Emerson, who was harassed and attacked and all of those things to the point where the police had to be called. Yeah. So, but he's describing it, but they put their canopy up, then they went to the Emerson tent and did what they did. Okay. Then I think they was called or text to come back because Karmelo was already under their canopy for a good 9 to 10 minutes with Eddie. Nobody had an issue in those 9 or 10 minutes. If you notice, according to the Frisco ISD tape witnesses, they stated it was no confrontation. Karmelo was just playing on his phone. They could see him playing on his phone under the canopy. That's how good it was, the video. Let's keep going. Oh, I went to the wrong one. Oh, shoot. Hold on, y'all. Okay.
Morning, and they had a lot of delays. And me, my brother, a couple kids were walking back from the field house of the middle school because we attended that middle school when we went to middle school. And we were saying hello to old coaches and catching up with them. And then we're walking back to our stand. We put our tent up so all the bleachers were right there. Were not wet from all the rain. We come back, we sit down, storm in the morning, and they had a lot of delays.
Damn, why they? Oh God, my bad, y'all. That's how they put up that clip. But keep that part in mind. Let's go to another one. I wanted to finish this one off, but I don't want to play him. Let me see. I think it's this one. Let me do this one.
I mean, our relationship is really the tightest I've ever seen in somebody, like between two human beings. I mean, we did everything together, clean the dishes together, do yard work together, sports. You name anything in the world, it's always us two and one thing. So you're always just basically one person.
You guys just a few minutes apart?
4 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Austin was first by 4 minutes. He got stuck in me.
So technically your bigger brother.
Yes, ma'am. There's a lot of big brother stuff around. He's always on my back. Even if I'm in the wrong, he'll always take my side no matter what it is. So
y'all already said he always have my back. Even if I'm in the wrong, he always take my back no matter what. Let's keep going.
It's just really heartbreaking to see someone that cares for you that much and does everything even by your side no matter what, just pass away like that.
Mm-hmm. Your mom told me that you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't mind, what happened?
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track.
There was this kid. This kid was sitting under our tent at track. Notice, he never said this kid came and sat up under our tent as if they were already there. He said this kid was sitting under our tent at track. Words matter, y'all. Now peep the play. He's describing it from a first-hand account, but those witnesses on the stand said Hunter was on the other side of the canopy, minding his business, scrolling his phone. He had no involvement. Let's keep going.
We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking.
He said, we asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking.
Reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not.
Now, mind you, another thing I just caught. Hunter said, I don't know what word he used, but I don't think it's a real word, but doubled around or I think he meant turned around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the poking. So Hunter is describing himself, giving a firsthand account his firsthand account involvement in the situation, right? Literally there, front and center. He didn't even see the poking happen. How the hell did those witnesses see it? Remember, they testified that Hunter had no involvement. He was on the other side of the canopy, scrolling on his phone. He wasn't involved until after the poking. After the poking, right? But Hunter just said that we asked him to move. He started saying inappropriate things or whatever, aggressive things, and then Austin stepped in and say, hey, you need to move. I don't know if he said nothing about his backpack right here. I wasn't paying attention to that, but we need to hear that backpack part too. But those witnesses said that hold on, let me say it verbatim. Those witnesses said, hold on, let me go up a little bit. Austin, no, that's not the part. Those witnesses said that, damn, where's the stab part? Hold on, y'all. Witnesses said bluffing. Okay, they said, I remember Karmelo refusing to leave and Austin saying, you need to leave, and Karmelo saying, touch me and find out. The student said, Witnesses estimated Anthony was asked to leave as many as 15 times. Prosecutors asked whether anyone tried to gang up on Anthony. No, sir, the student said. The exchange lasted roughly 2 minutes. The witnesses testified. Karmelo started refusing to leave. The student said when asked who was provoking the confrontation, the student responded, Karmelo. Austin leans in to push him and Karmelo stabs him. The witness said, adding that Anthony had his hands inside a backpack and students believe he was bluffing. Right? So Austin leans in to push him, pushes Karmelo, Karmelo stabs him. Right? Hold on. But Hunter just said he didn't see the stab. So how the hell did those witnesses see it when Hunter was front and center? Let's keep going. Oh, we have to go back.
Just that's just what I saw, and I try to help him, but
It was just senseless.
it was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone.
He's had a really great year, and everyone on the team.
Now, this is the other conflicting story that Hunter gave. Let's see what he said and pay attention to his involvement from his account.
Coaches, everyone knew around the area, just knew that he was about to do big things in football.
Again, both of us, and we'll see how far we get. When I read your story last night, obviously this is not about me. I have a 17-year-old son. I live 20 miles south of you. My son's in Frisco every night playing soccer, and we have a lot of friends who knew Austin. So the circles got tight, and this hit really close to home. And I'm just so sorry for you. Can you explain us at all today how you feel? It's just got to be so. The word I keep coming happened at that track meet. How could this thing that seems like is not on the menu of possibilities could happen? Again, I was at a track meet, by the way, on Tuesday. This is not something you think could ever happen. How did it happen?
So it was a really bad storm in the morning, and they had a lot of delays. And me, my brother, a couple of kids were walking back from the field house of the middle school because we attended that middle school when we went to middle school, and we were saying hello to old coaches and catching up with them. And then we're walking back to our stand. We put our tent up so all the bleachers were right there. Were not wet from all the rain. We come back, we sit down, and this kid said something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life. I never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for.
Notice, even in this version, Karmelo is already there. He said, we walked up, we sit down, and this kid behind me. He didn't say this kid came and sit behind us. He said this kid behind me. Even though we already know that Karmelo was already there, because in the video that the prosecution released, you can see them walking to go back to their tent, their canopy, to confront Karmelo. Hunter literally said they was coming back from the Emerson Middle School tent to confront Karmelo. So how the hell did Karmelo get up under there after them? Like, it don't even go along with the story. Make it make sense. If the issue was a seeding issue, then wouldn't that co-align more with Karmelo already being seeded? No. They probably had issue with Karmelo already because of his reputation, who he was, like all of the things surrounding Karmelo, period. Jealousy, all of that. All of that. Karmelo was a stand-up kid. Even though they didn't go to the same school, people know, kids know other kids, especially if they're on opposing teams. All of that, okay? Karmelo was favored. A lot of people loved him. That's why that pissed me off when they had no character witnesses on the stand. Let's keep going.
I turned around and asked him who he was. He started getting really aggressive. My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me.
I turned around, asked him who he was, even though he's lying about his statements here. It's some lies, but it's some truth in there too, y'all. It's some truth in there too. But notice, he's still involved. Regardless of the lies and the truths, he's still involved. He said he turned around. In both stories, he was the first to confront Karmelo. I turned around, kids start saying inappropriate things. Austin steps in, and then I think his day mama didn't want him to get tripped up right there when she was saying that. I mean, when he was saying that. So she hurried up and stepped in and started talking for him to paint Austin as this stand-up kid who always does the right thing. So we don't want them to think it was a 2-on-1. So let me make it seem like, Austin is the problem solver. He's the stand-up kid. He does the right thing. He stabilizes aggressive situations and not escalates them. Okay? That was her job. Let's keep going.
His brother's just having my back, and things started getting more like higher intensity. And the kid said some like aggressive stuff, like reckless stuff. And Austin tried to handle the problem. And
then
See, Austin tried to handle the problem. See, he can't go into details of what Austin did to handle the problem. So Mama Bear got to step in and cover. She got to do her little 1-2 with the acting because Austin was just that kid, He was just that stand-up kid that never gets in any trouble. He's always doing the right thing. He's known for doing the right thing. He's a leader in the community. He's not a hothead like Hunter. He's a leader. Okay, let's go. Let's hear from Mama Bear.
Austin was always one to step up. He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing, and he was doing.
He's always the one to step up and be the person that will do the right thing. He was doing the right thing in that moment. That's what she was finna say. I need to see these interviews in their entirety because I keep seeing clips of, just clips, right? Little clips, but not the whole thing. But now y'all see, like, if let me take this off. If people don't see or pick up what we as Karmelo supporters are putting down, I don't know what to tell them at this point, y'all. If people still believe that baby deserved to be in jail for 35 years, when you got clear evidence of Hunter giving two totally different accounts. And I could have sworn it was a third video he did, y'all. If anybody knows of that third video, because I heard people saying he went online 3 times and gave different stories, but I only seen those 2. Even the dad gave conflicting stories early on. Like, it screams pre-orchestrated plots, setup, railroad, all of this. The truth stands alone, baby. The truth don't need too much convincing. So for them to go out their way to cover things up, to seal things, to strip away transparency, all of this, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's cooking season. Say this the one where he's reading from something behind the camera. I'm gonna go back and look for it because I want to see the actual video, because this is from somebody's Instagram where they cutting it off. So I want to see the real actual interview. I'm gonna go look for those. That's what I'm finna do for because I got another. Well, I'm gonna do another live tomorrow, but I'm about to go do that, y'all. But I'm finna get up off of here. I hope y'all pick up what I was putting down. I hope I gave good context and good receipts and facts and all those good things, child. I know other people going live that I want to be tuned into involving this situation. I will be back tomorrow with another one. What time it is? I don't think I'm gonna go live again tonight. I'm not sure, but for sure tomorrow, y'all. But shout out to everybody who supported me in this live, to keep going, to keep advocating, to keep breaking down the facts. I love y'all down. Please keep, continue tuning in. Keep speaking, keep being loud, y'all, Because like I said in the beginning, when these situations happen, the only thing that brings forth change is outrage in masses. When a lot of people, when eyes are on a situation and a lot of people are outraged, that's when we get results. So we can't let this story die down. The minute it dies down, then another situation like what happened in the trial happens again. So no, we're going to keep being loud. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the support. Stay safe in these YouTube streets because these YouTube streets ain't safe, baby. Period. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
Y'all know what time it is. The truth teller in the spot. Always bring the facts. Yeah, she make the fake stop. Stop clearing out the noise. Never let the lie rock. Nope. Say it with me loud. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Yeah. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Pop, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Pop, baby. Receipts on deck, she gon' air that out. Lil Pop, wipe them down. If it's cap in the chat, she gon' call that out. Lil Pop, wipe them down. Came with the proof, better watch it now. Lil Pop, wipe them down. If it ain't fast, don't come around. Lil Pop, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Lil Pop, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Pop, baby. She a Louisiana with truth on blast. Lil Pop, wipe them down. Receipts so strong that the lies won't last. Lil Pop, wipe them down. When she step in the spot, all eyes on her. Lil Pop, wipe them down. Expose real quick, make the face to turn. Lil Pop, baby. Who got the truth? Lil Pop. Who bring the proof? Lil Pop. Hands to the left, hands to the right, wipe them down. Club lit up all night, wipe them down. Who got need? She OB. Lil Pop, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Lil Pop, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Pop, baby. Truth don't mean you gon' stand on that. Lil Pop, wipe them down. Blocking the trolls, never looking back. Lil Pop, wipe them down. Whole crowd move when the name get loud. Lil Pop, wipe them down. She the voice of the people and she shut them down. Lil Pop, baby. Truth too strong, wipe them down. Pop, pop. Crowds sing along, wipe them down. Pop, pop. From the bullshit bees, wipe them down. Pop, pop. It's Lil Pop, baby.